I'm sorry. I haven't listened to anything you said because I can't stop seeing Matt's lewd gestures on our Zoom call.
Would it be so bad if an 84-year-old got into heroin?
Welcome to the Cat Organizational Podcast.
You idiot. It's written down in front of you idiot.
This is like the buffalo chicken wrap of answers.
I haven't heard about hot orcs in a while.
We were so horny for motion controls in 2005.
I can't wait to come back and tell you how it was Noah's Ark, you asshole.
I would also like to retroactively say I've never had cotton candy acid.
So Andrew's 100% doing a voice, right?
Everybody get off IMDb now. Time to record.
This episode and probably this whole podcast is a mistake. Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how thanks to COVID-19 halting the release of so much new media, Todd's dream of Jason Mantzoukas playing Crimson Dynamo in a David Harbour-led Winterguard movie lives on.
So, a look behind the screen for those wondering why this is the topic right here out the gate. We keep a track of all of our show notes, and this was the cold open last year for this very episode where I talked about dreaming of seeing, Jason Mantzoukas.
We are as far away from a Black Widow movie right now as we were this time last year.
Oh man, we really are. That sucks. Oh, that sucks.
Oh, the world is a nightmare.
What was this? The first year since 2010 that a new MCU movie didn't come out?
2009. The first time in 11 years that there wasn't a new MCU movie.
Wow.
Well, now I'm a sad boy. So here we go.
Holy shit.
All right. So as 2020 dies down, I'd normally like to take this time to sit and talk with friends and remind ourselves of the great things we did in the year behind us, share our hopes for the new year to come, and maybe share gifts with those friends to represent how our friendship grew in the last year, or how I hope it will grow in the next. But this is 2020, and nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing good happened to anyone who didn't use insider information they got in February to short the market. So I am joined by Matt, Cats the Movie Cole, Todd, Baby Nut Thomas, and Andrew, X Ash A12 Henderson to host the first ever Debate This Shitty Peripherals Gift Swap.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, Kyle, so I know that we all know what our middle names are, but I want you to put into words, like, what umbrella term did you call these three things?
These were all things you might have forgotten happened in 2020 because so many other worse things happened, but these are also awful things.
The worst things about 2020 if 2020 had been 2011?
Yes.
This would have been on the YouTube Rewind.
Yes.
Wow, rip, there's not even one of those this year. Jeez.
I know. To everyone's chagrin.
Yeah.
And I think Baby Nut is the worst of those.
I actually don't know that reference. What is...
You don't know Baby Nut? Oh, boy.
I don't think so.
Back when, on the same day, Kobe Bryant died.
Oh my God.
That was...
Oh, no.
Planters also killed off Mr. Peanut.
Yes.
And then a few days later introduced the birth of their new mascot, Baby Nut, like we weren't in the middle of a global pandemic.
Like it was the fucking 1985 Transformers movie and they just killed off Optimus Prime.
Yes.
Is that for anybody but me?
It's just for you.
All right. That has the same kind of energy as like when Chef Boyardee SpaghettiOs posts a like pro Black Lives Matter statement on Twitter. And you're just like,
get out of here.
Whose moment are you living in? What are you doing? I appreciate you, brand, but get out of here.
So I did a quick Google search because I needed to know. Kobe died.
Did you search for Baby Nut?
Well,
because I don't think you should have searched for Baby Nut.
I've searched for Baby Nut a non-zero amount of times, but Kobe died on January 26th, and Mr. Peanut died on January 22nd. Which means I'm pretty sure that Baby Nut was resurrected the day that Kobe Bryant died. Which, I mean this with absolutely no disrespect to Kobe, but does that make Baby Nut the reincarnation of Kobe Bryant?
Planters and VaynerMedia will try and make it so. And yes, Baby Nut is a Gary Vaynerchuk creation, if you didn't know that.
God.
When Baby Nut emerged from the cloaca of Mr. Peanut, collectively the internet went, huh.
No, we
didn't ask for that.
As far as I can tell, everyone saw Baby Nut and were like, nope.
Absolutely
Didn't
not.
want that.
Man, you guys remember Baby Nut? Wow.
Baby Nut has the same energy for me as the Mountain Dew commercial from the one Super Bowl that had Puppy Monkey Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if that reference is for anybody other than
that
me.
one didn't land for me.
No, I remember that.
I know that one.
Well, you can add Puppy Monkey Baby onto your necessary search terms to listen to this podcast right after Baby Nut.
All right, we are doing the shitty peripherals gift swap, though.
Yeah, God, please.
This is not a Baby Nut podcast.
It's a Super Bowl commercials recap podcast now.
So, gentlemen, whose name did you draw in the shitty peripherals gift swap, and what shitty peripheral did you get for them? Matt.
All right, so 2020 has been an absolutely back-asswards year, and I don't need to go into any details as to why. One of the more interesting trends of 2020 that I've personally experienced has been watching a number of my friends transition from console gaming to the PC master race. Now, I am a good old console boy myself, and one of my favorite things about my best friend Todd is that he is also living his life switching between a non-zero amount of laptops and tablets while gaming primarily plopped on the couch holding a controller. Well, Todd, I hate to say it, but I think it's time that we make our foray into the personal computer world as to not be left behind by the rest of our friends. Now, I want to make this transition a little easier for you by gifting you a controller for all of your PC gaming. And without further ado, please let me introduce you, my best friend Todd, who is my very best friend in the whole world that I love and care about deeply, the Thrustmaster Fragmaster.
No, Matt, we said you couldn't give Todd your porn video in this gift swap.
Thrustmaster is my weekend name. So to the listeners, and I don't know who else is in this boat. I have not looked at what the other two are actually bringing. I've not clicked on their links yet. So I did as Matt was talking. Matt, what is this? I say as I unwrap it.
It's only the hottest toy for the holidays, released November 30th, 1998. It's the Thrustmaster Fragmaster, the newest joystick from Joystick Company, actual joystick company that is still around in 2020, Thrustmaster.
Okay,
Oh, God.
So time out on one of those things. I've got a buddy who has a steering wheel for a driving game that is made by Thrustmaster, so they are still an actual thing.
They have a license agreement with the U.S. Air Force. I just need to put that out there out of the gate.
Also, I see like 15 things on like a cursory Google search, and nothing is under $150.
Yeah.
So they're making like
They make
like,
quality product.
Yeah, like high quality, like life to scale.
So I'll describe it for those of you
Please.
driving right now. The Thrustmaster Fragmaster is a two-handed joystick controller, except the joysticks are connected. So you hold the joystick part like you would a normal two-handed controller, and then you move that joystick around to aim and shoot instead of having the two joysticks you would on a Xbox or PlayStation.
Goddamn nightmare.
It looks kind of like the steering wheel Todd mentioned, but it's a joystick.
Yeah, and it has 4 triggers on the back of it.
It's got 4 triggers on the back of it.
I was curious of the number of triggers on the back. Matt, I see a quote here on this link you shared. People who struggled with Quake's controls, which, mind you, if you've ever played Quake, it's like the twitchiest, wildest shooter you've ever played. People who struggled with Quake's controls could pick it up, plug it in, and frag with the best of them. I doubt that claim is accurate. Nothing about this makes me think that it is accurate at all.
See, you took that quote away. I took licensed by the U.S. Air Force,
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm imagining someone drone striking Syrian hospitals with the Fragmaster.
Oh. I mean, this definitely does fit into like the very macho US military commercials that you see where it's like infiltrate and it shows a man at a computer.
Yeah.
Like, discover and it shows a woman holding like beakers and vials. Like
Protect shows someone using the Fragmaster.
Yeah, so the Thrustmaster Fragmaster is my gift to you, and we're going to talk a lot more about it, but I do want to take one more stab at describing this for anybody who isn't able to Google search it now. And if you imagine holding a toilet seat and then flipping it so the flat end is down, and then putting it on a pedestal, putting 6 buttons and 4 triggers on it, and then make it look like it came off the set of Battlestar Galactica, you have the Thrustmaster Fragmaster, the world's most interdimensional toilet seat with 6 programmable buttons and 4 programmable triggers.
I'm going to read 2 more highlights from the box cover, and then we'll move on to our next gift. Works with Windows 95 and 98. Always love to see that. And get more frags in your next death match are both banners on the cover art of the Fragmaster.
Why was that such a common word for like 3 years?
Wasn't that like in the era of leet speak? Like, wasn't that just gamer words?
Yeah, it was
Sure
just gamer
was.
nonsense. Yeah,
I mean, now it's like when people talk about confirms in FPSs and shit. Like we just make up words and use them and think we're cool because of it.
Yep.
to the very insular
Basically.
crowd of people that choose to talk to us about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Todd, who did you get in the shitty peripherals gift swap, and what did you get for him?
Well, I was fortunate to get my good friend Andrew this year, and so as my good friend, and as you recall, we talked a while back about how esports, they're the wave of the future, right?
Yes.
And while here in 2020, while the world looks out upon the nerd teams that bring home 6 figures playing their Overwatches and their League of Legends is the reality.
Leagues of Legends.
Leagues of Legend. You're right. The reality is that esports standard, it was set a long time ago. And if you think back to in 2006, we were given the Wii and the world changed. And with that, the cultural phenomenon of Wii bowling happened. And again, like the world was defined there. Well,
suddenly your parents were playing video games with you.
And they're hip and they're cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of hip and cool, Andrew.
Speaking of,
my good friend Andrew, I'm overjoyed to tell you what I've gotten you this year, my good friend Andrew. It is a true solution in search of a problem. I present to you a special type of evil that I truly did not know existed, except for one of our patrons, username Shout, introduced it to me a couple days ago. Andrew, without further delay, I present to you the CTA Bowling Boll, made exclusively to be used with Wii Bowling.
oh good.
Yeah, so for those who are uninitiated, it is a nightmare. Andrew, I've brought to you today all the elegance of being able to play Wii Bowling in 2006. Only instead of being able to hold a nicely contoured Wiimote in one of those nice grippy sleeves, you've now got to put your nerd hands on a plastic watermelon, and you're gonna have to press buttons while you're doing it.
Todd, it has finger holes.
Yeah.
It does not have like real finger holes. Like it does have real finger holes.
Does
It's
have.
got buttons.
I'm looking at a picture.
Yeah.
It very much has real finger holes.
It's got real finger holes. It's also got buttons you have to hit while you're bowling, because you have to hold buttons when you're bowling and playing Wii Bowling.
I am almost certain that this is half the size of a normal bowling ball. I cannot believe that this would actually fit a real human hand.
No, this definitely only fits a child's hand.
Right.
There's only one picture with a person holding it, and their age is ambiguous, so it's hard to know if this is a child or adult.
It definitely looks like they're holding an actual bowling ball.
So I'm going to take another stab at describing it again for the people
please.
who aren't at a device that they can look it up.
For those who have not gazed upon the sins of our forefathers.
It is a blue, shiny bowling ball that opens in half, so you can put a Wiimote in it.
Ugh.
Connects to the Wiimote, and then has a monstrosity of buttons on the outside. So you can
many
do
buttons.
The Wiimote things with it.
It took all of the Wiimote buttons on the two Wiimotes, like the Wiimote and the nunchuck, I presume, and crammed it into a 2-inch by 4-inch space on the surface of this bowling ball.
They're all just kind of like thrown up on the top of the Wii bowling ball. Like, here's an R.
So I was looking at it and I was trying to figure out like how you would use this, and my guess is the intention is to like hold it in your bowling hand and then hold it by your face and use your other hand to use the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope those finger holes have buttons in them as well that are mapped to the same buttons you need to like press and release to bowl.
But if you released it, you'd be throwing it at your TV.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait. No, I don't like putting my finger in a controller to press a button. Like that feels really wrong.
Please stop doing the visual. Please stop doing the visual.
Okay. To answer your question over the function and how this works. So there are indeed finger holes, and there's whatever button. Mind you, this is made just for Wii Bowling. This is it. And so there is a button by your bowling hand. The bowling hand, you know, when you're taught, you identify your bowling hand.
I haven't listened to anything you said because I can't stop seeing Matt's lewd gestures on our Zoom call.
Yeah.
It was like the most disgusting way to describe a bowling ball in the history of the world.
Anyway, there's a button for your bowling hand. But Matt or whoever called it was right. When you hold up the bowling ball, you do like dial on the top like an old-fashioned phone to control the Wiimote. And you know, Andrew, I don't want you to think that I'm getting you outdated technology.
No, I don't think that at all.
No, good, thanks. I have it on good authority that I think the CTA, they're planning on capitalizing on Nintendo Switch's cutting motion controls. So, there might be a good future for this if you just hold on to it for a while.
Is there a Switch version to come?
God, I hope so.
Who's to say?
Wow.
Just everyone take a quick stab. What's the worst non-Wii bowling game you could try and play with this bowling ball controller?
Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers.
It would be pretty bad.
Yeah, that's the answer.
I actually this is just a fun one to think because it's the Wii. Playing Skyward Sword with this bowling ball.
Oh no! That's so much worse. Yeah,
that's good.
Tune into our next charity live stream to see Todd play Skyward Sword with the CTA Wii Bowling Boll.
And good friend Andrew, why are you crying while you're holding this gift?
I have two things. One, this is terrible. Two, I would like everyone to know that on the Amazon page, they have all of the like quality, the product specs, and there's one column that says style : bowling ball, which I just like. All right, fair enough. Thanks for the clarification.
Oh, okay. Here's the metrics. It's 1.5 pounds and 7 almost 8 inches, 7.7 inches. So way smaller than your average bowling ball.
Yeah, that's a bocce ball.
Until you started talking about these things, I didn't realize there's 317 reviews on the Amazon page. I won't go into them, but the first one is a very middling review from a retirement community.
Wow. All right. Thanks, Dick.
Did you say Todd? I heard Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, my very good best friend Todd. Is
my
what he said.
very good best friend Todd.
Andrew, who did you get, and what did you curse them with?
I drew last, so of course it means anyone who's done a Secret Santa knows that there's always one person that folds the paper wrong. So when I pulled mine out,
hold on, hold the phone. This is not supposed to be a mean episode. What's that about?
This is our Christmas episode.
So Matt, I know how much you love whitewater rafting. We've talked about it. We've shared stories.
I didn't expect that to ever come up on this podcast, but okay.
Well, here it is. Now I wanted to give you the best whitewater rafting experience, but since it's cold and there's a 900% chance of imminent death outside, I thought you could have the closest to an immersive whitewater rafting experience in your own living room. But I also didn't want to spend a lot of money, so I present to you the PlayOn Game Boat.
What is this?
So the PlayOn Game Boat.
Oh no!
It's
It's a boat.
just a fucking boat.
It's a raft.
This is a grown ass man sitting in a boat. Is what you got right here.
This is so, Matt. As you blow up your inflatable raft, let me tell you a little bit about it. So, you know how you just love 2010's Kinect Adventures that came out for the Xbox Kinect?
Oh, I've never loved a game more than I love 2010's Kinect.
Right. See?
Adventures.
Adventures.
Kinect Adventures.
Kinect Adventure. Yeah, how could I forget? Wow, it is a grown ass man just sitting in this raft.
It's just a grown ass man
in his New York apartment.
A dude in a sweater.
So for those of you listening who aren't familiar, Kinect Adventures came out. It was like your Wii Sports for the Xbox Kinect, which had 5 motion control themed mini games, all based around Kinect's core mechanic. Which it was basically the sales proposition was, hey, you've got the Wii where you can swing around a remote controller. Why don't instead you have Kinect where you are the controller? Pow! And all of the Kinect games were basically just like variations of listening lazily to the left or the right.
Like swatting your arms in the air.
Yeah, because there's only so many things you can do with the human body that are actually a game. So one of the 5, the kind of like headline of Xbox's 2010's Kinect Adventures was you stand in a raft riding down a river, just like collecting coins like you're in Nick Arcade. So
like you're going through a double dare obstacle course.
Right, exactly. So, and Matt, I know the only reason that you stopped playing that game after you loved it so much was not because it was just a shallow novelty, but because the experience just wasn't immersive enough.
TM.
Yeah, that was really
right?
That was it.
You want to feel the gentle caress of the milky plastic composite against your sweaty thighs.
Oh.
Okay, less of that, please. Much less.
You want to smell the thin layer of cheap latex that's probably been cobbled together from discarded condoms right in your living room. So, Matt...
In my mind, Andrew's yelling these things as you're unwrapping this raft.
While you continue to blow up your
blowing
inflatable,
it up, yeah.
While you continue to blow up your inflatable raft, I cannot guarantee that this will make you any better at Kinect Adventures, nor can I guarantee it will work even half of the time. But I can guarantee that you will get the full experience of having a cheap inflatable raft sitting in the corner of your living room that you can sit in, as long as you don't mind the smell.
So I have a question.
Yep.
Does this inflatable raft in any way communicate with the Xbox?
TBD.
Or is it just a prop that you act like you're riding a boat in your living room?
Kyle, good question. The answer is it doesn't not.
Oh man. I mean, like the fact that it has a handle on the front, like a rope handle, I can't.
I missed that. I have to look at it again.
So I'll play the Kyle card for anybody who's driving and can't look up stuff. So this is just an orange inflatable raft that you get out of a box, and I want to make. I'm gonna bring this up thousands of times for the next hour, but I want to make it abundantly clear. Like, if anybody bought a cheap DDR pad, you know what this smell is.
Yeah.
It is cheap plastic, like that latex kind of like composite.
The cheapest plastic that doesn't just like disintegrate as soon as you touch it.
Yeah, like it will melt in the sun, cheap plastic.
Yeah.
And every, like, there aren't a lot of reviews of the PlayOn Game Boat, but the ones that are unanimously talk about how it stinks. Like, physically
like
smells.
Actually.
Yeah.
So I'm reading the box. Like, I've pulled the picture up of the box. I've zoomed in, and I want to read you the advertised, like, marquee items is why to buy the PlayOn Game Boat. 2 players. You can sit down, use it on water, no sliding, included.
No
sliding?
You can't use this on water.
There's a picture on the box. It says I can.
If you can, you just won't have an Xbox Kinect with you.
I guarantee somewhere on this box it says not like not to be used for
no, Matt's
for
right.
safety.
That was one of the very few sales pitches on the box was it can be used on water. So if you, for whatever reason, have an inflatable pool that you also have sitting in front of a TV connected to an Xbox Connect, and you just so happen to want to have a river raft, get crazy, baby! It's 2020, nothing matters.
12 sad rich kids own this, and that's it.
I want to just point out my favorite line from the article you shared, which is under the subheading "What We Didn't Like." The very first sentence is, "It is unnecessary for playing Kinect Adventures and in fact makes it harder to play the game." So it doesn't even make it better. It only makes it worse.
I'll link in the show notes it's a really good Kotaku article, and actually the writer filmed like a 4-minute just like of him in his living room, and what the guys earlier were referring to is that, and there is actually one point where he sits down and try to play, and he's like, nope, and it lost me. I can't even do it. I have to stand. He does say, though, he didn't film it, but he did say that it was easier to play God of War than it was to play Kinect Adventures. So there's that. Man. So there you go. Kinect Adventures.
Merry Christmas, Matt.
Sorry, I said God of War. I meant Gears of War. You know what I meant.
Wow. That is something else. That is... Okay, wait. Stop. Hold on.
Let's get into it.
So we talked before we started this episode about the fact that every year we do this episode, and every year we all find like a whole chasm of new peripherals. And so in my scrolling today, I saw this one too. And you had already put it in there, so I saw the name and kind of just like rolled by it. But the fact that this very real, like inflatable pool toy, like someone took a pool toy and rebranded it with Kinect branding. This made so many lists of bad video game peripherals that the like what counts as a peripheral to a game is the whole way gone. Like you'd be like, you buy this shirt at Walmart and it'll be in the game. Like this is out of control.
It's basically, it is no different than getting a keychain as a pre-order bonus. Like it has the same level of functionality.
By these metrics, Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel is a better third-party peripheral than this boat.
Oh my God! You get more content by putting in a code from a bag of Doritos.
Wow!
Oh my God!
Oh man! Yeah. Wow!
Get dunked on this raft.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Where do we go from here, Kyle?
Into the water, I guess.
It's rare that we have an answer on the podcast that like derails us. That's like, all right, well, that's the show.
It's a Guitar Hero or Rock Band. What was it? Rock Band
Resync
Beatles
the
kind of
syncing the controllers moment.
So yeah, we'll just have to push right on through to our next question then. So guys, my favorite part of giving gifts is that it is my opportunity every year to communicate what I feel is my relationship with the gift receiver through a material object. So I want you guys to tell me what your shitty peripheral gift says about your friendship with the person you gave it to, and go into the specifics of why you gave it to that recipient. Matt.
Yeah, so part of the reason that I picked this gift to give to Todd is because I know you, Todd. Like, I know who you are, and I know that there are things that matter to you. And one of those things is quality, which is why I went with a prestigious brand such as Thrustmaster. You cannot find a better joystick than you can find from Thrustmaster. And so I know that you care about quality. Another thing that I know you really care about is using both hands on a controller. So let's get into the fact that you and I, as predominantly console gamers, we can't make the switch to PC because trying to use WASD and a mouse at the same time is really difficult for us. I know you played League of Legends. It doesn't matter. Just play with me in this headspace that I know you like to have both hands at the same time on one controller. And you want it directly in front of you in that really comfortable position where everybody puts their hands to play computer games.
Like you're a captain of an airplane.
Yeah, I also know that you value customization. Dude, I didn't know. You value customization, and the Thrustmaster Fragmaster first-person shooter controller comes with 4 triggers and 6 buttons. That's 3 buttons and 2 triggers for each hand. So
does it come in colors like gray and slightly more gray?
Charcoal. I can't get over the name Thrustmaster Fragmaster, because they're similar enough but so different. They'd be like if Nintendo was like, "Hey everybody, here's the Nintendo Bintendo."
The Nintendo Wintendo.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so I know that you care about being able to map controls onto the different buttons and the configurations. Like, you don't want to play.
I hear Todd complaining that he can't remap his buttons all the time, Matt. So you're right.
Right, I know. I think it's the thing I hear from Todd absolutely the most. The thing right below how much
CrossFit.
Todd loves to CrossFit. Exactly. That's exactly where I was
Typical
going.
Todd topics.
Yeah.
I talk about CrossFit. I talk about mapping my buttons to controllers.
So let's talk about CrossFit. Todd, why is it that you love CrossFit as much as you love CrossFit?
Shouldn't you know that if you know him so well?
Yeah, I want to see if it's like the dating or the newlywed game where you try and answer the same things.
Got it.
Man, probably the amount of fitness that is constantly varied, because it's constantly varied fitness and high intensities.
Is it how confused your muscles are?
My muscles are very confused.
What I was going for was like how it makes you feel so sore afterwards.
How it makes me feel so sore afterwards.
Yeah, right. You know,
my confused muscles are so sore.
That is why I got you the Fragmaster from Thrustmaster, because it has megahertz mode. Where you can stop it acting like a joystick and make it control like a mouse. I don't know why you would want to do this, but it's an advertised thing. And apparently, it makes your hands cramp really bad. And if you use it for too long, you'll lose feeling in your hands. So yeah, I know that
it couldn't possibly be because you're holding your hands like 4 inches apart
in a
on
terrible
this toilet
angle.
seat.
Yeah, right, exactly. I know that you value things that make you feel sore after you use them, like CrossFit, which is why I am gifting you the Thrustmaster Fragmaster first-person shooter controller.
It's like if you were in middle school percussion and the director said, "Hold that triangle in the most wrong way you can imagine." And so you grabbed it by the top 2 legs. You're like this, and your music director was like, "Yes, now stand there and just keep doing that."
But it also had 6 buttons and 4 triggers on it.
But they're customizable. You can map them, so that means something.
This controller is perfect for people who like to hold pieces of pizza with both hands at the crust. Like that is the target demographic for the Thrustmaster Fragmaster.
Oh, there's no way
That
any
was
of these
such a
exist.
specific reference. Who do you have? Do you have somebody in mind?
What monster do you watch eat pizza?
No, I'm just looking at the picture of this controller and I'm like, what's about that wide? What's about that wide that would be weird to use with both hands?
God.
Pizza.
Holy shit.
Pizza.
Jesus.
Right.
Todd, why did you get... What does the CTA Wii Bowling Boll say about your friendship with Andrew?
You know, in my years of knowing my good friend Andrew, I've known him to be quite a connoisseur of sports.
Big fan.
Specifically, I've seen Andrew play 3 sports.
I've done sports.
One is racquetball, one is bocce ball, and the third would be DDR. And so, for me, I think that this adapter could probably work with any iteration of those games if they were to come to the Switch. You know, if they adapted this for the Switch. Specifically, even more, I know that Nintendo Ring Fitness, they've kind of set this new standard with their ring controller and their weird thigh grip. I have it on good authority that this will be a new add-on. So, Andrew, you can now play your favorite sportsing games and become even more fully immersed. Because, again, I think there could be a DLC pack for Ring Fitness where maybe you have to swing a kettlebell. I know how often you swing kettlebells. Maybe,
man, I would love to swing a couple kettlebells with that sexy
Kettlebell
dragon.
King is what we call Andrew.
Kettlebell King. Maybe
that was my nickname in high school.
Maybe you toss a medicine ball, only you're going to have to keep the Wii straps on. Because you can't actually toss this because it's made out of plastic and frail. This would probably fit like right in with that. I don't know. No matter how you cut it, Andrew, there is more permanently dyed with sweat controllers in your future. And I think that to me feels right. And more, okay, real talk. If there's one person that I know in my life who would be just as likely to buy the CTA Bowling Boll to play digital sports and get sweaty in their living room in 2006, just as likely as they would be in 2020, it is you, Andrew. This is
That's fine.
For you, Andrew. This is for past, present, and future you.
That's fine. I can't argue that point, so I'll accept it.
I'm now imagining your wife coming home and you're just sweaty swinging this thing in the living room, and you're like, what?
Get my numbers up today. I got
only
so many
because
steps.
of because you brought up how frail it is, Todd.
Oh, it's got to be frail. There's no way this is durable.
Every single one of these that is not currently sitting on a Walmart shelf or in an Amazon warehouse rolled off of a table and broke within 48 hours of being opened.
Oh yeah.
If they didn't get jettisoned into a TV.
Yeah. If it didn't destroy a TV, get immediately put away forever and ever and ever, it rolled off a table and broke within 48 hours.
I'll have you know that when it comes to Wii peripherals, this is the number 47th top Wii peripheral. So that's saying something.
It is something. I have all the top 46 of them. So
what do you buy for a man who has everything?
Yeah,
the 47th
most popular
47th
thing
of that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just like you said, Andrew. I think that Wii Bowling was the number one killer of flat screen TVs in the late 2000s and early 2010s. And now instead of shooting a missile at your TV, you're shooting a fucking cannonball at your TV.
Yeah. So real story time. In 2006, the year of our Lord and Savior, I saw this absolute idiot that I knew in a residence hall have the actual conversation where they were Wii bowling. And they were like, hey, you have to put the strap on your wrist. And he goes, nah, it's fine. And he didn't launch it at his TV, but it went straight into the ceiling. He released it and it shot like a rocket straight up and then smashed to the ground.
Was this at Finley or was this in Dunlap King?
It was in Finley. I watched a man, a real stupid man, a grown-ass stupid man do this. And I was like, good. You did the thing because of the thing.
2008 was a special time.
They tell you 9 times to put that strap on your wrist.
They do.
They really do.
And they had and it was back in 2007 when paper was still around. You guys remember paper? There was like 1,000 flyers. Like you were just getting buried under one pagers that were telling you to put your goddamn strap on.
Your Wii definitely came with 3 flyers reminding you to make sure you put the strap on every time you used it. Every game came with another 2 flyers.
It was on the launch screen. Every time you opened a game, it told you to put the strap on to use the Wiimote.
It did.
And yet so many TVs died by our hubris.
I worked at Circuit City, not during the Wii launch, but during the Wii Fit craze. And even then, we had a significant amount of return TVs that had Wiimotes through them.
That had a Wiimote imprint in the LCD.
That was a thing that happened commonly.
Did they buy the new TV and then put the broken TV back in the box and be like, I don't know what happened.
I don't know. It was so weird. Yeah.
I know there's still a Wiimote lodged in this TV. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it? Matt?
It's Andrew's.
It's Matt's turn to receive.
Andrew, what does the boat you gave Matt say about your friendship?
Says that I'm not very thoughtful. No, I already talked about Matt's penchant, if you will, for whitewater rafting. But I wanted to get a little deeper, much like the ocean.
What?
What was that?
What did you just say?
What is that?
So Matt, the one thing that we all know about Matt is a retro gamer at heart.
That is true. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And now Xbox Connect Adventure is probably old enough to be considered a retro game.
That is true. Not where I'm going, but also accurate. So by being a retro gamer, it's not he loves old games, but Matt loves uncomplicated games that are simple to learn but difficult to master.
Yep.
Right? Which is why that is such a retro thing. So back in the day, you had no such thing as a casual mode. Games were tough as nails, and you either figured them out or you just never saw past level 2. You didn't play games for the story. You played them because it was either that or you had to go stand outside.
Listening to you is like looking in a mirror.
So,
the binary choices of playing games or standing outside we all face as children.
1995 was a hell of a drug. So I wanted to recreate the experience of having this tough as nails challenge attached to a very simple concept, devoid of a complicated story, skill trees, or exhaustive menuing. Because I know those are things that Matt hates. Now, Kyle, we've talked at length about on the show about how our motion control horniness period, if you will, left us with a glut of shallow tech demos showing off different iterations of motion controls. And boy, there just wasn't a more shallow entrant during this period than the entire life cycle of the Xbox Kinect. Now, instead of using a normal controller or joystick, the sales pitch was use your body. Because, of course, it's not like human bodies are all uniquely proportioned and every home setting isn't equally optimized for a unified player experience. So now while the Kinect is in itself, I think we all know at this point, a much more complicated way to play simple games, PlayOn thought it wasn't just enough to meagerly shift left and right in front of your TV. These pioneers of innovation made it so you can meagerly shift left and right while standing in a freaking raft in front of your TV.
Oh, God.
So, Matt, my gift to you is the ability to enjoy hours and hours of mastering the laborious task of picking up invisible tokens and avoiding obstacles in this river rafting experience, which is the closest thing to the very real whitewater rafting trip we've been talking about for like the last 2 years.
Wow. The concept of PlayOn, the brand, not being a controller company, but being a lifestyle brand. It's like, you want to live the lifestyle. You want to stand in a boat. Like, that's so good.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
I've also set up a bunch of fans on the left and the right so you can feel like you're getting the
breeze.
And you'll just sit behind them and throw a cup of water at me every once in a while.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Did any of you guys have a Kinect?
No.
Yes,
No.
I got my. I did
not have an Xbox 360.
Well, I think the one technically has like a built-in Kinect thing as well.
Yeah.
I believe a member of Butt Thwomp Nation and my college roommate Alex Clark did at one point. I want to say, but feel free to correct me later. I played it briefly, but yeah, it's not very good.
They were not universally acclaimed for the reasons that you stated and more. It was like, oh, you can do Kinect fun games where you wave your hand to hit the ball, like playing DDR but slapping at air.
Does your Xbox One have one? Do you have the generation where it came preloaded?
I have whatever the one is that has the connector that is like a Kinect that sits on top of it, and I have used it no times.
Of course not.
The only time I ever used it is that you can set your Xbox to be voice activated to turn on, which I think goes through the Kinect.
Yeah.
But then like you didn't say like Xbox, you had to ask Cortana to turn on because they were trying to rebrand things as Cortana, and I was like, I'm out. Nah, I'm good. I'll press the button.
I distinctly remember the E3 where Microsoft like was clearly leaning into like the Kinect being part of the interactive home theater experience, and everyone's like, nah, dog.
Yeah.
So my favorite Kinect story and ties into the Kinect ruining otherwise good games. Mm-hmm. There was an NBA game or some basketball game where if the Kinect picked you up cursing, even in single player, enough times, it would like give you a technical foul and end the basketball game you were playing in game.
That's actually awesome.
Oh, that's
really
the kind of
awesome,
immersion that I want.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Penalize your players.
If you say 3 F-bombs, they send an email to your mom.
Insert the soundbite of Todd saying we're not coddling gamers in 2020.
Yeah. Didn't Mass Effect 3 had Kinect available functionality? That's why it got delayed. Do you guys remember that?
Let's certainly dwell for a moment. That was not the problem with Mass Effect 3, but I believe it did. Was it to like cast your Scion spells?
Something like that, yeah. But it got hugely delayed and everyone was like freaking out.
So I think you could use the motion
that was
to like
one of the things.
Reload your gun too. I think there was all sorts of just really gimmicky stuff.
The headline I saw all the time when the Kinect was out was this other,
is unnecessary.
No, this other not gaming company is using the Kinect for their thing, but like no games with the Kinect were fun or took off. Like, it was an incredible piece of technology that was horribly utilized by the game, like the gaming aspect of it.
I mean, they were the best case scenario was probably this Kinect Adventures game or some of the games like it, which were just mini games, which was like the thing that you play with your parents on Christmas Day to avoid talking. One thing, the Kinect, the one Kinect experience I would have playing Kinect with Diablo, because I just want a menu in Kinect. I just want to do Tony Stark.
You want to do the Tony
shit.
Stark menuing?
Yeah.
Give me to that point, I'll be in, but that's not even a thing.
Yeah.
Now, guys, that we've exchanged gifts, I bet you're all very excited to play with them, right? Right? You're all excited to try out your new gifts from your very best friends.
My bowling ball already broke.
I'm taking mine into the pool. I hope that is okay.
No, that's mine. I take mine into the pool.
Oh,
you can both do it. Todd put his flight pad on top of the raft, and now they've made it. They've combined
it's a super combo.
Yeah.
What multiplayer game do you want to play with your best friend who gave you this gift, so that you two can experience the joy together? Matt.
Well, guys, if I had to sum the year of our Lord 2020 up into one shared experience that we, the four of us, and most of our social circle have all had an experience together and has drastically impacted the course of our year and the course of our lives together, it would of course be how into Overwatch we've gotten. So I want to play Overwatch with you, Todd, with you using the Thrustmaster Fragmaster first-person shooter controller, because Overwatch is a first-person shooter, and I don't know, this game, it probably connects. Like
6 buttons, Todd.
Yeah, 6 buttons. 4 triggers. Think of how you could map your buttons to be mediocre at a game that none of us will ever be great at.
To me, this is either a way that I can truly like focus in my playstyle to become better, or a new way to complain as to why I'm so bad. I'm not sure which. But it's definitely got those paths before me.
Yeah.
You could map it that the left stick, like if you're playing Moira, the left stick is for healing and the right stick is for
perfect
for attacking.
Well, then I'll
the only controller that works for.
Yeah, then I'll map one of the right sticks is healing, the other one is hurting. Just, keep it spicy. Just keep it switch it up.
Keep it fresh.
So that's the thing, right? Is that
I'll still have extra buttons left over.
The Thrustmaster Fragmaster has 4 triggers and 6 buttons. We all play together on Switch. The Switch has 4 triggers, but what is that? Only 4 truly usable buttons, because nobody's using plus and minus. So yeah, you have more buttons, which will probably make you better at the game.
It could.
Well, the real answer is I'm gonna map those extra 2 buttons to screenshot. That's what I need. I need things that accidentally bump while I'm playing to take screenshots that I'll never look at again.
You need to recreate the share button on the PS4, the button that everyone loves.
So Todd, what game can you not wait to play with Andrew with the CTA Wii Bowling Boll?
With PlayStation 5, it's launched and it's elusive, but it's launched and it's out there. The good news, I have it on good authority, that the CTA Wii Bowling Boll it now ships with a next-gen universal adapter. Who would have guessed that this thing that came out in 2006 would have this?
Insane.
Yeah,
Amazing.
wild. So with a world of new games before us, I've specifically, Andrew, gifted you the CTA Wii Bowling Boll, not so that we can play games together, but specifically so that I can watch you, Andrew, use it to play Demon Souls. I think that's what I want. And now I hear what you're saying. It's not multiplayer. I don't need to play. I'm good back here watching.
I'm actually very into this, so this is fine.
Well, here's the deal, Andrew. You put the weird silicone fingers on your fingers and put them in the little slot holes and put the strap on your wrist, because if you want to swing your weapon, you got to swing the ball. That's what you got to do. Good luck.
This is the most uncomfortable I've ever been using the word cuck on this podcast.
just I feel like we should have a count of those somewhere.
I think the count is 1.
Yeah.
It isn't. It's not.
It's not.
Andrew, you used the very real words beta cuckboy like 5 episodes ago.
Ooh, we don't need that back.
I did say that. Oh shit, I'm the worst.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that there are silicone finger molds for your fingers to make sure they stay in the bowling ball for different sizes. So
yucky.
It's not good, and there's gonna be a smell to those after a while. But yeah, like I alluded to earlier with Skyward Sword, much is the same for Demon Souls. You want to swing that weapon, you got to swing the ball. That's good luck, you pervert. Go do it.
I'm kind of into it.
Well, feels right. That's why I got you this.
I'm going to
gift.
be a Demon Souls speedrunner.
Our next charity live stream will feature Andrew playing Demon Souls.
Yeah, I'm going to be like one of those
bowling ball
speedrunners that do
peripheral.
Dark Souls with the DDR pad.
Andrew, what game are you excited to play with Matt in his brand new inflatable Kinect Adventures raft?
Sure. So I was going through my like mental Rolodex of other nautical themed games that could potentially benefit from this, in all caps, fully immersive seafaring experience. So you've got Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That immediately comes to mind. Sea of Thieves, perhaps. Maybe there's some utility in like the hovercraft races in Diddy Kong Racing. Maybe like that rafting mode in Super Mario Party, the one that you play after you're sick of all the games. But then I went back to the DT ! Archives, and I realized the perfect pairing with this stinky boy. Matt, your actual Christmas gift is a fully immersive Bloodwake experience.
Oh my god! Oh wow!
So newer listeners, I'll quickly explain what the fuck Bloodwake is. Bloodwake is a 2001 Xbox original. I should say it came out for the original Xbox. It's basically Twisted Metal but with boats. So you just drive around, and it's got a batshit insane story, and we all fell in love with it when Matt introduced it to us for the first time. So with the PlayOn Game Boat, we're going to follow the same design philosophies that we've seen in Mega Man bosses and Power Ranger Zords alike, which is, of course, make it the same but add guns. So, we're going to retain all of the shitty, leaning themed motion controls from the original, but now your stinky latex balloon raft is now a stinky latex balloon raft weighted down with 12 to 15 mounted light gun turrets. And you and me will sit in the raft, and we have to physically move from turret to turret to shoot each gun. But of course, each time we move, it will also move the raft. So,
but Andrew, on the box it says no slipping.
Well, we won't slip. That's for sure. Just don't wear socks inside.
I don't know if you other three played Sea of Thieves. I assume that's...
I haven't, no.
Okay.
No, we've only made fun of you for playing it.
No, it's fair. And it was... That's deserved. The point I was going to make is we've already decided this is technically a seafaring vessel. This inflatable raft can be in the water. Will it hold 4 grown men? That is the will it
There's only
remain
one way to
buoyant?
find out.
I don't know. The box says 2.
Additionally, how many interactive buttons are on this thing?
0.
Oh,
In its current form, 0.
Because with the light gun turrets.
Although the light gun turrets, you're right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, you climb into the crow's nest, you go below deck, there's 3 layers. This will probably work.
Okay, Todd, we'll workshop it. We'll figure it out.
Sorry, it started with 4 grown men trying to stand in this thing, and then it kind of spiraled after that.
That would be that's your next live stream, is us 4 in this stupid inflatable raft.
My God.
Sounds like an icebreaker game where you try and get everyone in your office to stand on a single piece of paper.
Todd and I did it in orientation. When we were orientation leaders.
And when you do those things, it's always the middle of summer and everyone's sweaty. So
yeah.
Everyone's uncomfortable and sweaty.
Team has been built.
I mean, you're already playing Kinect Adventures. You're already uncomfortable and sweaty. So
You've made a series of choices to bring you here, and this is not the worst one.
Yeah, I mean, Kinect Adventures is basically the 2 truths and a lie of video games.
That is fair and accurate. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break here in a second. But before we do, guys, I'm so excited to see the gifts you got each other and your friendship expressed through the medium of gift giving. Except I can't help but notice none of you got a gift for me. So it's all right. We're gonna avoid this awkward situation when we come back with our super secret bonus question. I'm just gonna have you guys re-gift the gift you just got to me with a pitch to make me not feel like I was an afterthought in this Christmas gift giving occasion.
It's a very self-aware super secret bonus question.
It's very self-aware. So with that, we are going to take a short break.
Hey everyone. Sorry if you were expecting the Wii Shop music. Lucky for you, there are like 1,500 covers on YouTube and Spotify and wherever else you stream music. I'm here today to tell you that we would like to fill this slot with something other than the Wii Shop music. We've sort of reached the point with this podcast that we would really love to take on a sponsor or two. And we're not looking for your quips or your lawnmowers or your purple mattresses, although I would very much like at least 2 of those 3 things. I'll let you decide which 2. We are looking for indie creators in the nerd space just like us. We're not trying to get rich off this show. We just want to help spread indie nerd culture around the globe. So if you are someone who makes dice, if you are an artist who takes commissions, if you have a video game or nerd or comic related brand, we would love to run an ad for you on the show. We've put together some sponsorship packages, and we've made sure to keep the price point low enough that people like us would be able to afford it. So if you have any interest in advertising with us, or you know someone who might, shoot us an email and get in touch at debatethiscast@gmail.com.
All right, we are back. So guys, while we were on the break, you all thought of how you can re-gift the gift you just got to me, so you can hide the serious faux pas you all made of not getting me a Christmas gift in this gift exchange. Don't worry, I'm not mad. We're taking care of it. So Matt, what did you get me in this gift exchange?
Oh, Kyle, so listen, I know you love adventure. I mean, that's why we all live in shitty old Ohio and you live in Colorado, because it is a land of adventure. And
100%.
It is on the license plate after all.
Yeah, I wanted to get you something that you could use for that adventure. Thus, let me introduce you to Just a Fucking Boat. I got you a fucking boat, Kyle. And
hell yeah.
It's going to be rad for you. I know there's rafting in Colorado. You could probably take it to a ski resort and go sledding in this fucking boat.
There's probably the safest way to use this.
There are so many opportunities for you to use your new fucking boat. But you can also just like put it in the corner, and I'm sure the cat will love it. Like, you could put a blanket in there, and this is going to be the nicest, swaggiest, probably the smelliest, but that's okay, cat bed that anybody else is ever going to give you for your cat.
You might be right. Matt, I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome, Kyle. I love that you love it.
Todd, what do you got?
Oh, hey, Kyle. Happy non-denominational winter holiday. my friend.
Yes. Happy non-denominational winter holiday to you too.
Yeah, thank you. You've got such a nice house. Have I talked about your? It's so nice. Anyway, I looked really long and hard to find you just like the perfect gift that screams Kyle. And so I found you this gift, and it's wrapped in hand towels from your bathroom, but that's a coincidence. Don't pay attention to that. Anyway, hey,
I was looking for those hand towels, so thank you.
That's part of the gift, and I thought, hey, my good friend Kyle is someone who cares about quality gaming and using both hands on a controller, and that Kyle really strikes me as someone who loves triggers and buttons that in sum total 10. I also thought, hey, I think I've seen Kyle hold a slice of pizza really wrong once, and so I pulled some strings with my.
It was one time. I double fisted that slice of pizza.
I'll never let you put it down. And so I pulled some strings with my contact, the U.S. military, and was able to grab you. Whoa, hey, what is this? A state-of-the-art Thrustmaster Fragmaster. Oh, wow, isn't that cool? Wow,
Todd.
Look at that.
I have been wanting the Thrustmaster Fragmaster ever since I was on Windows 95 or 98. And wanting to improve my first-person shooting skills.
Well, Kyle, the good news is I've gotten you the Thrustmaster Fragmaster, Kyle, my friend Kyle, and just specifically so that you can really dial in your precision focus on your online gaming. I don't know a lot of the games you play online nowadays, but so I've specifically gotten you this so that you can play Hearthstone better, I think. This will probably help you, I think, with Hearthstone. How many triggers and buttons do you need for Hearthstone? Is it less than 4 and 6?
It is less than 4 and 6.
Oh, you're good then. You're good. Straight to the top of the leaderboards with you now, Kyle.
Perfect.
You got it, man.
Oh, thanks, Todd. I love it. I'll totally not hide it in a closet until you come over the next time.
And then I can use it when we play 2-player games.
And then you can use it instead of the good control, the standard controllers I have, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Todd. Andrew, what do you have for me today?
So actually, it's a funny story. I was looking for the bathroom, and I wound up in your closet, and I saw some really fun toys, and I got, it reminded me. I saw that Rock Band Beatles guitar, and it reminded me. Man, like Kyle loves adventure, sure. Like everybody knows that. Anybody knows Kyle loves adventure, whatever.
Kyle, a big adventure guy. Holding pizza wrong adventure guy.
Yeah, he's like basically wears it on his sleeve. But really, like to really like dig in to really really know Kyle is to know that Kyle loves an authentic experience.
Yeah,
Kyle does not sacrifice for a half-assed gaming experience of any kind. Right, unless you can feel like you are there, you're not gonna do it.
It's not for me. You're right.
And I was thinking, that time that we went, like we did that when you're freshman year of college, we did that like community bowling event, and like a bunch of people were there, and I remember you really liked it. You might not remember, but I remember you had a lot of fun. And I was like, man, Kyle just loves bowling. So what better to mesh those two things together, those two passions together. An authentic bowling experience. Well, obviously, we can't go to a bowling alley right now. I almost said bowling center because I forgot what a unit of bowling was.
a bowling court.
A bowling court.
You guys going to one of them bowling courts?
Yeah, we can't go to the bowling hole. So the next best thing.
The bowling hole is such a good name for a bowling alley.
Oh man, look out, Pinn's Mechanical Company. The bowling hole is coming to town.
Oh shit, the bowling hole. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, here's this shitty bowling ball. So it's broken. Just duct tape it together. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Andrew, thank you so much for not only this gift, but for remembering how much I love to bowl and how much I love authentic experiences. Thank you.
Man, the bowling hole.
While I stop cry laughing, please, gentlemen, go through your final thoughts and defend / talk about the shitty peripherals you gave to each other today.
So listen, I don't know who is ending up with the Thrustmaster Fragmaster, but what I do know is that is a person who values quality and values prestige and values getting an actual Thrustmaster Fragmaster from a company that has licensing deals with the US Air Force and Ferrari and F1 Racing. Like, this is a real company that put this thing out. This isn't like Mad Catz or somebody made this decision. Someone put care into this controller. This is a controller that was meant to be really, really, really good. And I'm sure that all of these things, somebody saw on a drawing board and was like, yeah, okay, push it out. But most of the people in the room are like, I don't know about that. I think this probably went through
This went through some legitimate R&D.
Yeah. R&D, some real QC. Like, this went through a lot of letters to make it to the table. And I think that matters for something.
I really want to try a game of Overwatch with the Thrustmaster Fragmaster. Like,
oh, man,
I don't know how I can make that happen, that dream a reality, but I really want to experience it now that I know this exists.
I can't imagine. It's like playing a game by throttling the neck of a goose. Like, what in the world? There's no way it's ergonomic at all.
Todd, your last chance to defend the plastic bowling ball.
I'll leave you with this, Kyle. With a 2-star review on Amazon that lists it as product works. I just have this to say. Do you like bowling? Because the CTA Wii Bowling Boll is right up your alley.
Ugh.
We were so close.
It's gonna be a 0 pun episode.
Andrew.
All right. Kyle, these other two gifts, while they all do one thing well,
do we?
They don't. Here's what they don't do is two things.
One of the things is gonna be float, isn't it? Is one of the things float?
So, this might also be a controller, kind of, but it also does another thing, which is not be a controller, and maybe sort of if it is amphibious, I assume.
It might also be a pool toy. Maybe.
Very likely, probably.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I have to decide, I guess, who gave the worst gift today, the best gift today. I don't know. I'm gonna pick one of these and declare it the winner. While I deliberate on that, say nice things about the other gifts you all got today, starting with Matt.
Yeah, wow, guys, what an episode. Way to deliver on Shitty Peripherals 2020. Every time we do this, I know we've said it already in the podcast, but like, there's just a never-ending treasure trove of terrible peripherals. And much like Todd did, I didn't really look at these before we did the episode. I saw them on the list that I perused from different listicle websites, but I didn't dive in. And the joy that comes from opening up the URL links in our show notes is a joy unrivaled by Christmas morning. Like, it feels the same.
It is a gift in itself.
Yeah. And these were really, really good. Todd, the Wii Bowling Boll is such a relic of the Wii era. I mean, I had a Wii hockey stick for a Wii hockey game that I loved to play, and it was like, I don't know, maybe 18 inches tall and mostly foam, and it was just like a plastic throat you shoved a Wiimote into and then held and like wiggled back and forth, and I loved it. I played with it like every goddamn day, and I know that there was a time in 2006 that I very much would have wanted this bowling ball. The other thing I love about this, though, is you talked about this being era of esports. And I can only imagine that somewhere in the very real world, there is a Wii Sports Bowling League where someone who takes Wii Sports Bowling way too seriously has this bowling ball, and it has like sponsorship stickers
that
wrapped
exists.
all around
It's at my parents' church.
Yeah, it has big community center energy, but I love it. Andrew, you brought a boat to a video game podcast, man. You brought a boat. It's a boat. And I can't believe that.
Just a regular ass boat.
Yeah. I quote bands a lot, and in Ninja Sex Party's most recent album, or in Starbomb's most recent album, to quote them, they say, "What do I know, right? I'm just a fucking boat," and that's what this is. It's a fucking boat. And I said it earlier, but I saw this on all of my lists of terrible video game peripherals, and so somewhere, much like the argument of like, is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a boat a video game peripheral? PlayOn says yes.
Is it not?
Andrew says yes, and I'm inclined to believe you.
Can I just interject real quick? I think that should have been the tagline. Is a boat a peripheral? PlayOn says yes.
Had this boat come out in 2020, that would have been the clickbait headline. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
From comicbook.com, book spelled with 3 O's.
Matt, when you brought the Thrustmaster Fragmaster, first off, the fact that they say master twice is a crime. And I don't know why they felt the need to brand the Fragmaster with their own name brand, but okay, I get it. I'm still really hung up on all the lofty promises your peripheral has made and how I'm pretty sure it met none of them. But it is so good. It's so good bad. It doesn't look like it's comfortable to use. I don't know what it sits on, but I'm guessing it moves a lot because it doesn't look like it's probably sturdy. But I'm looking at these stupid 6 buttons again. Anyway, Matt, I was happy you brought us a thing that has an unnecessary amount of buttons and triggers to it. And I can't imagine how it's ever useful, and it is a great gift, and I'm glad I gave it to Kyle after you gave it to me.
Wait, what?
What? Wait. Andrew, you brought a boat, and I know that we keep saying that. Instead of dwelling on all the things Matt said, because Matt said, I think, the best critical things about this, I want to bring attention to the kid on the cover who is jumping and is about to knee slam into hardwood floors. That kid is going to never play this game ever again, whatever he's doing.
So that cover art, there's no way that boat is that big compared to that child.
No way.
There's no way. That boat is half that size at best.
Well, or that child is extremely malnourished.
Yeah.
And his bones are brittle and they will shatter when he lands.
It is roughly the same perimeter of a DDR pad. For scale.
I guess I'll just say it to both of you because we already said it at the start. Again, the infinite well that is plastic garbage that has been attached to video games is something that we dive into once a year. And in my dives, initially, I didn't see either of the two things you brought, and they're trash.
Yeah.
And it's great. And so I'm happy, sad that I know both of your things exist.
There are a lot of things, from making personas to making Pokemon sexual to talking about Tim Allen movies, that we collectively do in this podcast to each other. This episode, this thing that we do, is one of the few that we do for each other. And it always brings me so much joy. And I thank you all in true Christmas spirit. Thank you for this gift. Specifically, Matt, your ability to find the worst joysticks in history is uncanny. I am always amazed. There is, like you said, I mean, there is just a limitless bucket of things that you have to shout in to make them move. And, like, somebody literally just saying, like, what is the most complicated way to do this very simple task? Which leads me to Todd. Also in the category of limitless buckets is Wii accessories.
Yeah.
Specifically Wii accessories. And I think you'll probably, like, you could probably find, 1,000 YouTube channels that review the Wii hockey sticks and the baseball bats and all that. I don't think I've ever seen a bowling ball. It's one of those things that, like, obviously somebody made a bowling ball, but, like, why? Like, who asked for that?
It has the same novelty as, like, the early 90s telephones that you would give kids, where it's like, it's a bowling ball, but it's a telephone on top.
It's like a hamburger phone.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought, too, the hamburger phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, again, like we've alluded to several times, there are, I would imagine, 40% of these things ended up embedded in a TV screen. Like, it's impossible to think that they didn't.
Yeah. Yep.
There's at least one home in every Midwestern town with a exact imprint of this bowling ball in their drywall. still here in 2020. Like,
I guess more likely like a blunt imprint on their TV, and then which caused the thing to shatter in half. But regardless,
yes,
yeah. But either way, thank you both for this amazing holiday gift.
I guess that means it's time for me to decide which one of these wins. I am gonna go with my gut and say that today's winner, by whatever metric you want to call it, is Andrew with the boat-ass boat.
Yes.
That this was...
Stinky boat for the win.
That this was considered a peripheral for the Kinect when it in no way interacts with the PlayStation, the Xbox, I'm sorry, at all. It's just a hunk of plastic you have to blow up yourself and then flail around in. Makes this, I guess, the shitty peripheral of 2020.
Yes.
I read that on a listicle.
Yeah. So,
number 5 will shock you.
Screen Rant's going nuts.
Andrew, congratulations. You have won the shitty peripheral of 2020.
Feels so good.
Episode.
Have you won all 3 of them now?
We gave them to him. One. Yeah, we gave him bags of disappointment the first year.
Because I feel like you won last year.
I think I won with the chainsaw.
Oh, the chainsaw.
Yeah.
The chainsaw was bad.
I don't remember specifically, but I hope that Kyle's shitty keyboard controller was the one that won the first year.
I think it was.
I think I won the first year.
Because I had the haptic suit.
I'm almost certain.
That was Consume Konami.
Kyle won. That was Consume Konami. Yeah. So who hasn't modded yet?
I haven't modded yet.
Okay.
So I guess it's me next year. I haven't modded yet or won, so that's great.
We've got a year to find the shittiest peripherals we can to give the best peripherals we can.
Start searching now. Hopefully next year gives us some brand new gems. Hey, it's a new console year, so with that comes a lot of fucking plastic garbage. So.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows?
Something's got to stick, right?
Yeah. Who knows what fresh hell awaits us?
Thank you, everyone, for listening in to Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. You can also check us out on Patreon at DebateThisCast, and if you find a lull in the conversation on your holiday Zoom call home, try breaking the silence with a topic from this podcast. Your parents will be really proud that you found love in the arms of Tacklebox Tony. Trust me. Until next time, I'm Kyle Harper.
I'm Matt, Thrustmaster in the streets, Fragmaster in the sheets, Cole.
I'm Todd, atone for your pins, Thomas.
And I'm Andrew. You got to pay the trolls toll to get into this bowling hole, Henderson.
So stupid.
And we're saying, thank you for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.
Oh, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
We put these words into a file and send them out to ears of other people.